What is up, party people? It's your boys, Birds of a Feather, on your Thursday night delight. May I trouble you for some honey Bijan? Get it? Honey Bijan?
Bijan season.
Yes.
It's Bijan season. Maybe we may be getting a little bit of this. Maybe get a little bit of this. Let's talk about it. Birds of a Feather, A2D, let's go.
Oh my God! I'm embarrassed! He's flying!
Welcome in. It's almost time.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Birds of a Feather on A2D Radio, brought to you by Baggio's Bread, located in Mount Laurel, New Jersey, home of the best stuffed breads, tomato pie, sandwiches, cutlets, and meatballs. Make sure you mention A2D Radio for 10% off your entire order. We are live on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and wherever you download your podcast. So if you're listening to us right now live or on your commute or on the way to Baggio's Bread, we greatly appreciate the support. We are back, the four amigos, Chucks, OG Pete, Jake, and PY. And first, I want to start off by saying a big congrats to Mr. Jake Friel, who not only had his birthday, but also got engaged.
Sign that prenup, son.
Yes, sir.
I mean,
Gotta protect yours.
The leap of faith on his birthday.
Chapter.
But now the issue is if I forget that on my birthday, I'm twice as screwed.
But not really, because I mean, honestly, we don't celebrate the day we got engaged.
No, we probably won't either, to be honest.
I don't know about Chucks and Mary.
You
I know
say that now.
No, we don't.
Yeah.
We don't. But I always
White women are different.
actually no, we do because we did it at Disney, so I can't say that we don't celebrate because like back in 2021, 5 years. So it was 5 years after we had gotten engaged, and we went back to Disney, and we took Grayson to the spot where I proposed. So like,
Oh, cool.
I can't say
Okay.
I can't say we never celebrated, but like normally no, but we have celebrated it. Yes. So, yeah. But yeah, congrats, Mr. Jake Friel.
Thank you.
How old did you turn? Were you 28 now?
29.
29.
You're old.
Oh God, what are we?
I'm only 32.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, we're still old. My God.
That's not true. I'll be young forever.
Here's the first half of the show. We are going to get into some of the hot topics going on this week or even today. Report was that Zeke is considering the Eagles as his next team. Do you want him? Yes or no? We'll talk about that in the first half and maybe talk about, like Mr. OG Pete said at the top of the show, I get into some Honey Bijan talk, but that's the other topic. Do we want him? Do we want that running back? We'll discuss, we'll debate. And then the second half of the show, like we said, draft talk, like we have been doing every week for the offseason. We are going to dive into our positional draft prospect ranking series and starting off with the number one position in football, the quarterback position. So we'll talk about and debate who we have where. We'll see how that's going to go. But like I said, first half of the show, and it's brought to you by eXp Realty. If you're looking to buy or sell a home, if you're looking for a career or change a career or brokerage, contact Alan Foy of eXp Realty LLC at 302-682-8820 or visit him at alan.foy@exprealty.com. Our poll question for tonight, nice and simple. We changed it last minute for you guys. The Eagles should sign Zeke Elliott. Agree or disagree? Any of you want to go? You can.
So I'll play two parts to it, and then I'll give my answer. So no, because I just don't think you need him necessarily. And I think you can get a more productive running back in the draft. However, if you're just using them for certain scenarios like third down or goal line, like a LeGarrette Blount in 2017, I understand it. But ultimately, no, I don't think they should. I disagree with the poll. Mind you, it's fun, right? Like Chuck said in our chat, it creates headlines. It creates like, oh, screw Dallas, blah, 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 blah. We got Zeke. And then the NFL is going to focus on, oh, Zeke returns to Dallas or Zeke is facing Dallas. It makes like a whole headline and it makes the NFL look good. But at the end of the day, should they? No, I don't think so. You can get a much better running back in the draft. Maybe Bijan.
Pete, which one? Any of you go?
God, no. God, no. Under no circumstances, no. I don't need that creepy, untalented, washed MFer on my team doing every week after he gets like a 2-yard gain.
I'm not going to lie. That's a fun celebration, though. That's fun.
I've hated Zeke since he came into the league. I want zero parts of him on my football team. He screams loser energy in every facet of from him on the field, off the field. Grade A loser. No, thank you. I'll take what I can get, and I'm going to go get Bijan Robinson. Screw you, Zeke.
Man had 12, that man had 12 TDs last year. But listen, I'll say it like this. So I'm the complete opposite of Catacorder from Chuck's and P. I don't know about Jake. I've liked Zeke's ever since Ohio State. Ever since he came out.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I've liked him because he could pass block. He could kind of do it all. Yes, is he beat up? I disagree to the poll if it's at the behest of you not drafting Bijan or you not taking a look at another running back day one or day two.
Mm-hmm.
However, with that being said, would I explore the opportunity if the money was right? Yeah, I don't think he's as washed. For one, I know his even since he's came into the league, the running back position and how they're used has been changed ever since 2016. Now, if we didn't sign Penny, then I'd be all for it. But since you signed Penny, it's kind of like it's almost like it's a luxury pit. It's a luxury at this point. Like it's the same thing when Chip came in the first year he had in the offseason, he signed Ryan Matthews, and then for some godforsaken reason he went out and got DeMarco Murray at the same time. I would feel like it's kind of a little bit something like that, but he would be a fit here that we didn't have. It's not an easy. For me, it's not an easy answer because I still think he has talent. So if you're coming from the position that he's washed, he doesn't have any talent anymore, then yeah, I can see why you would disagree. I mean, PY thinks with his heart all the fucking time. I can't. So it doesn't make any sense. But I can see the avenue to where it could work. But once again, at that point, then you have 4 in the room. 5. You have 5 at that point. Yeah. I mean. Because you have Penny, you would have Zeke, you have Penny, you have Zeke, Gainwell, Sermon. It's just, I mean, I'm motivated Zeke, man. And who?
Boston Scott.
And that's what I said. In Boston, I think I said Scott, but a motivated Zeke, man. It's tough. It's a hard call. I don't know, but like Joe Horskowski said, if they're not truly in on Bijan. And you walk away from this draft, and we're sitting here 5 weeks later from now, and you're looking at your running back room, and you don't draft anybody. You don't draft a Chase Brown. You don't draft what's the kid from the other kid I like?
Bigsby.
No, not Bigsby. The kid from Tulane. Spears.
Oh,
Tajay Spears, or the kid Tucker. If you don't draft any of them, and you're looking at your running back room, at that point, here's the thing. Now, this is another point. As much as Zeke may be washed, right? As much as you may feel he may be washed, the bitch is durable.
Mm-hmm.
So if we look at this 5 weeks from now, and we don't have him, and you banking on Penny staying healthy for 17 games, or you banking on Kenny Gainwell taking that next step, I mean, then you feel a lot different about Zeke. I'm just saying, because if you give me Gainwell and you give me Zeke as a 1-2, or you give me Penny and Gainwell as a 1-2, and just any combination of those three, and then you plug in Boston Scott at the same time, I can see an avenue where it could work. So I only agree to this poll in certain conditions. Like, it has to meet certain conditions where I agree to the poll. And there's also conditions where I could disagree to the poll. This is the first time where I'm truly neutral. I don't know how to answer this question because there's so many other extenuating factors. I actually think it's going to happen at this point. Okay. I think it's a high chance it's going to happen. And then from there, I don't know, all shit just goes haywire at that point. I mean, now you'll get those who talk about his off the field antics when he kept his nose clean for the past 2 or 3 years. But when he first came out, when he was rolling, he was a wild boy. You know what I mean? So, but think about it with this O-line. Oh man, it's tough. You probably can get another year or 2 out of him.
Yeah, so Lane Johnson recruiting them.
Of course. I mean,
well, of course, players are going to recruit like they're the big names. Like they're going to recruit big names.
Right.
Players have that brotherhood.
But also, Chuck, to speak to that point, if you're a running back, you want to come here.
100%.
Oh, yeah.
You want to play here.
100%.
You see what I'm saying? Like you want to belt, you want to run behind this offensive line. You want to be in this system. Outside of just the offensive line, you look at the running back, and it's like, God, I've never had holes this big before. Pause. You know what I mean? So, but you never seen gaps like that before. Pause again. Can't help it. You just run into it. Pause again. It's hard because for some reason
pause.
Yeah, I didn't even catch that one. It's difficult. It's challenging.
There you go.
Because you're counting on player. But see, when this offseason started, you knew they wasn't working with a lot of money. But somehow, some way, we find ourselves 2 weeks removed from the season actually starting, right? From free agency, the offseason actually started the league year. And you have kind of outside of the linebacker position and the safety position, shit has fallen into your lap.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, like stuff has come back to you, whether it be the market wasn't right, whether it be players wanting to stay. So you find yourself in a lot better situation. And honestly, a lot of the free agent signings have been on the defense. Most of them have been on, and that's where we had the most holes of free agents leaving. But most of it's been on the defense. Mm-hmm. Outside of the penny, outside of re-signing your own players, I don't know. Just for his pass pro, bro. For his pass pro, I mean, God. But it has to be the right money. It has to be the right situation. It's tough. It's a conundrum. It's a horcrux.
Good word.
It's definitely a conundrum because it's just you can look at it from 6 different sides, man, and you can see an avenue why you would disagree and an avenue why you agree.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, if just coming into it, if you feel as if from your perspective he's just washed, then yeah, you don't do it. But if you feel like he has anything left, he can bring anything to the table over a rookie, over Trey Sermon's this would be his 3rd year?
Yeah, I think so.
It's his 3rd year. Over any of that, then you have to explore. And it's difficult because he's publicly saying now, like through circles, that he wants to play here.
Yep.
So,
he also named other teams. He didn't say just Clark.
He did. But if you look at John Clark's tweet, I didn't know Eskin didn't like John Clark until this week, until I listened on Tuesday night.
Eskin doesn't like anyone.
Eskin.
Yeah, he really doesn't like John. He's calling.
Go ask him what he thinks about Fletcher Cox's agent.
Airport Aaron Boy or some shit. I forget what he called him. That's what he called John Clark. But yeah, it's tough, man. So I did enough talking. I talked for like almost 6 minutes. So.
You always do that. Chat. Let's get to the chat before I answer the poll. So Tom says I don't want him, but if he signs here and it's cheap, I'm not going to get mad. MB says Zeke sucks. Equally important, I'm not giving him one of the roster spots occupied by Scott, Penny, or Kenny G. Let's see. Josh Kieran says strong disagree. So Ryan Swope says he's one of the best blockers and catches the ball a lot out of the backfield. I like that about him. Birds need those two things from the back, but still, I don't know. How do we need a pass catcher? Like, again, Ryan does this again. Like, he's acting like there's no one on our team in our running back room that can cast passes. Do we not?
Boston can do it. Kenny can do it.
Well?
Yeah, but they don't really ever do it though. That's the thing. Like the Eagles never really call plays like that.
Yeah,
and Zeke isn't even like a great that's part of the reason why he's in the hole he's in, because they decided not only are you going to run, you're going to have 350 carries a game or 350 carries a season. We're also going to have you catch 100 balls a year.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Horakowski says no one wants Zeke and his 2 yards per carry, and he's going to want more money than all our current running backs combined.
I disagree with that last part.
Yeah, he doesn't really have a foot to stand on.
Martian Lynch 33 says it's crazy. Zeke is only 27. Yeah, but with how much he's run the ball past several years in his
career,
35. He's 70 in running back years.
I think he has over 1,200 carries in 4 years or something crazy.
Yeah. Joe says I'd rather sign Zeke as a backup center. He looked good on that last.
Yeah, that's good. That's great. I actually like that one.
Al Malo 215 says don't forget about Sermon and Penny.
It's not even given Sermon makes a team.
Yeah,
that's the problem. Sermon has to take that next step to where the squad actually believes in him, man. We can want it all day, but if the coaching staff don't see it and they don't give him the burn,
he's not showing them anything. They're not going to play him.
And no one knows except for the coaches. We all of us can speculate. I can say how much that I've liked Trey Sermon. Other fans can scoff at it and say it's a joke. He's no one, but no one truly knows except for the Eagles coaching staff. Yeah. And it's not easy you can't just easily ignore him because of the fact that we used a waiver claim on him and we kept him active. We didn't send him down to the practice squad all year.
Right.
So we kept him for a reason. So it's really up in the air still on his future, and so it'll be interesting to see.
And he was a second or third round pick.
Second round.
Third round pick.
Okay.
Who's that? Pollard?
Sermon.
I thought he was a second.
Huh?
I thought he was a second.
No, he's a third.
That's crazy.
You want to bet?
No, I don't. I swore I remember you telling us he was a second round pick.
No, he's a third.
Wait, what?
He was. They traded. The Niners traded up in the third round too. To trade.
Right. Dum-dums.
Let's see if there's anything. Oh my God, this comment. We'll get to this in a bit.
Oh dear.
But Mr. Wing's comment about this. Anyway,
to be
we will bookmark that. We will bookmark that comment and then get back to it. But let me answer the poll question nice and quick. Hell no, I do not want any parts of that washed up Ewok. All right, none. If you want a pass protector and short yardage back, which is exactly what Zeke would be at this point of his career. Go draft Chris Rodriguez in the 6th round of the draft.
I would say this: if they sign him, I have a bet for you. We are doing something if they sign him.
They sign what? Chris Rodriguez?
No, if they sign Zeke, and I'm gonna if they sign Zeke and he has over 6 touchdowns next season, you have to get a Zeke jersey.
But how? Why would I bet that? Why would I bet? I know he's a short yardage back. That's all he is, though. All a short yardage back who's pass pro. So I'm not. If he gets 6 touchdowns,
so you saying you scared? You scared?
Why am I scared? I would bet that he does get 6 touchdowns because that's all he's good for.
I would bump it to 8.
Okay, he gets 8 touchdowns, 8 short yardage touchdowns. If you want to make a bet, if you really want to make a bet that he would score 8 touchdowns where the runs came outside of the red zone. That's the bet.
That's not happening.
That's the bet you'd have to make. But don't bet 8 touchdowns. Like if we sign him, they're gonna give him the ball on the goal line. That's all he can do. So I'm not gonna bet that. But what I'm saying is, if you want a short yardage back that's gonna pass pro, just draft Chris Rodriguez. You can get him in the 6th round pick. Like, you just get him. That's all you need. But like the guy is washed. Like it was funny when I laughed when you said a motivated Zeke. Zeke's been motivated for the past 3 years.
But he's also been in a shit offense running the ball, running wise. That offensive line ain't the same as it was in 2016, 17, 18.
3 years ago, it wasn't. It was still strong.
I'm just saying. Listen.
2 years ago.
You see, this is where you and this guy. I got to do it like this. You and this guy are exactly the same. Once you don't like someone, the venom is ridiculous. Yeah. It's like
he has venom. I'm innocent bystander.
But hey, at least I have good reason not to like someone.
I can have reasons.
The good reasons are good to you.
Just because.
but in a way, the reasons aren't that far off. Like you're giving your perspective, which some of us agree with. Obviously, Bill Mutterbrook does not agree with you. He's more like, I'm not as gun-ho as he is right now. But all I said is I can see an avenue. I just don't think Zeke is washed.
Well, I never said that I'm guaranteeing he won't sign here. I'm saying I don't want him. And obviously, I could absolutely see it happening, but I don't want it to happen. I think it would be an unnecessary move. I think it would be very unnecessary where you can get and again, like with Zeke, I don't know where anyone thinks that he still has legs. Like, and when I say washed up, I mean washed up relative to what he was. Like the drop off from where he was in his prime to now is so significant. Now, if you're going to take what he is now compared to the rest of the running backs in the league, then yeah, he's a solid running back because he's good in goal line and he's a pass protector, and those do have value. Obviously, it has some value. So I'm not saying that he's the worst. He belongs in a class of the worst running backs in the league right now. No, like there are a handful of running backs that you would say are in his class. Like he's still solid, but again, with how deep this running back class is, how many solid running back classes there still are in free agency, you can get someone like Zeke. You can easily get someone like Zeke and how he's playing right now. You can. Have you forgotten
can
about
you get
Kareem
this?
Hunt? Have you forgotten about Kareem Hunt? Kareem Hunt is a good pass protector. Kareem Hunt can score from the goal line. Kareem Hunt has been relatively fresh compared to Zeke the last 2 years. So you want a big name to go in and do the things that Zeke can do? Go get Kareem Hunt. Am I wrong?
I mean, Kareem also likes to play soccer as well.
Oh, well done.
You guys.
Well done.
Wow.
Very good.
I mean, honestly, if I had my druthers and he's just a goon, and I don't think he's been released yet, but if he ever did get released, and I mean, if Mixon ever got released, I'm doing that all day.
I want 0 parts of that psychopath.
Shoot your shot, Pete.
I'd take him over Kareem over Zeke, all of them.
If my choices are Zeke or
oh yes, Pete, I want to hear this.
If my choices are Zeke or Mixon, I signed Zeke to a 10-year deal.
Oh my God, you're insane.
No, I'm not.
Clinically insane.
Literally every year there's a new story about Mixon. You're just like, oh my God, what new thing is happening with this guy?
Wait, genuine question. What thing every year?
There's always a new story with him. He's had like 3 incidents in like the last 6 months.
Well, I don't know why they were coming for him at his house.
I'm genuinely asking because I have never heard about other incidents. Other than
he's talking about like the gun, and then he had another incident with another gun. He's just doing dumb shit. But
3 gun things in the last 6 months, not to mention all his crap in college.
Right. I won't say all this crap is college. Is this?
There's just the one thing.
Is this the
No,
one thing?
there's not. No, there's not just the one thing.
I mean, I saw when he hit that bitch with the tiger uppercut.
Sagat.
He also tried to knock out a parking attendant because they were giving him a ticket.
I do remember that. That
Well,
was a guy though.
We've all been there. We've all been there.
Not when I'm 300. Not when I'm like 300 pounds and she's like 5'4", 120.
Yeah, but these dudes is just built different. They don't have fathers in the house. Right, wrong,
Yes, when you're mentally unstable, yes, you are built differently.
You're built
Anyways.
different.
Yes, technically he's built differently. You are
they're not
correct.
built as bad. I've always said this. Like that video, this kind of. She attacked him once. I don't know what the fuck he did, and she did it again, and that was it. That was it. I'm never striking a woman unless my life is in danger.
Right.
Unless you got a knife.
The worst part about that is she's
Self-defense.
a bad person because of the things that came out of her
two
mouth.
the two dudes that was with her.
He walked away and then walked right back to her and then like sent her to the shadow realm.
Okay, this guy keeps going at it. How is 27 old?
We're not saying he's literally old.
Check how many carries he's had.
Yeah.
Check how many carries he's had.
He might be 27, but that body.
Carson Wentz is like 30, but his knees are like 55. Like, come on.
I don't know where. Like, why do you think people always talk about like the load that prospects have going from college to the pros, and also the wear and tear, and also they talk about mileage and tread left on the tires, because that's a factor. It doesn't matter. It's not necessarily about age. It's about how much you've toted the rock and touched the ball over the span of your career. So yeah,
he was averaging like 300 plus carries a year, plus 100 targets a year. Not to mention all the shit they were giving in regards to the playoffs. There's Zeke is washed. I'm sorry.
No, on some real shit though. Like I've said this, I'm not doing this at the behest of going into the draft and not looking at running back as a position.
Okay. So let's get into that. Let's get into this. So here's a scenario. This is what I wanted the poll questions to be, by the way, before I was overruled. But we'll use it as a follow-up question. So here's the scenarios. Now let's all make this clear.
Scenario.
To everyone in the chat listening, all of you are listening. None of
Did
us.
they sign Keanu Neal?
They brought him in for a visit.
Oh, because I saw.
Okay, that's all someone. Okay, so let's get this out of the way. This circumstance I'm going to put out there does not entail taking Bijan Robinson at 10. I think we all agree that would not be a wise decision. We talked about it last week. We don't really advocate for that. Okay, so this is not advocating for Bijan Robinson at 10. What I'm going to ask though is putting it out there. What if we either traded back from 10 to around like the 20 area, or if he was there around 30, if we took him around there, so later in the first round. Okay, so would you rather sign Zeke to a cheap contract, or would you rather draft Bijan Robinson later in the first round?
Just Bijan.
Yeah, I think that's the general consensus, because you're giving me more.
Says no.
Yeah, you're giving me more.
The reason, PY, good thing you asked that, because there will be people who say never draft a running back in the first round.
Can I go?
Say no. Those people say no.
Chucks, can I go, please? Because I feel like I'm the perfect person. I am the perfect person to talk about this. Like anyone who knows me in the group knows I do not value first round running backs. I do not like top 10 running backs. I just don't think it's a smart idea, because 99% of the time they're never there. They never win with the team that's drafted them. Like, look at
devil's advocate to this, but continue.
This is where I'm from with this. And with all that said, like, I am against first round running backs and top 10 running backs. But where we are right now, you have an elite offense, you have an elite quarterback, you have an elite offensive line, you have a good coach, you have a good scheming offensive coordinator who knows how to scheme up his quarterback. and your window is short within the next 3 to 5 years, if you're adding an elite piece like Bijan Robinson behind the best line in football, arguably a top 3 quarterback, best O-line in football, 2 basically top 10 wide receivers, a top 5 tight end, all day, let me do it. If there's ever a person who is against this idea, it would be me. But I'm here saying this. Let's go. Let's go get him. Like, I don't care. Trade down to 14 or 17, whatever, and get Bijan Robinson behind this line and just feast, man.
Yeah, I'm literally right there with you, Pete. And we talked about it in Nauseam, I think, the past couple of days in our chat. But the Eagles are in a position right now to where, and obviously I know people, especially in our talk group, that are like, oh, you got to work on the defense. You got to do this. You got to do that. You're not going to be able to fix the defense and everything in one draft. So
you have 20 picks over the next 2 years to fix that.
Exactly. But my big thing is, why not just add to a strength? That's already one of the best offenses in football. If you add Bijan, it just adds another dimension to it and makes this defense probably, I'm not going to say it's going to be, but it could be one of the best offenses since the best show on turf. And it's not even close. You have A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert, Devontae Smith, Quez Watkins, Bijan Robinson, Jalen Hurts. It just, and the other thing is too, when you get a guy like Bijan Robinson that high, it takes the tread off of Jalen's legs too. Because you're going to give him the ball. You're going to call up plays to give him the ball. So that's another dimension you have to think about as well.
Yep. OGP.
So I disagree because I don't need to trade back. I'll take the bitch at 10.
I would too. I totally would.
Honestly, I take him at 10, bro.
I'm the one here with the running back banner shirt. I
would trade back.
I'm the one that says no. Don't take him at 10.
I'll take him at 10.
I'll take him.
All right, we'll take him at 14.
No, I don't. But that's the thing. I don't need to move back because if he's there at 10, I don't, because you still have 30 and you still have you have 2 2s next year if you want to get back up into the first round. Because I hate to say it, Kalijah Kancey's not making it to 20 now. No. The tape is out. Like motherfuckers is like, this is baby Aaron Donald. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Maybe remember next Friday they had Big Joker, Little Joker, Baby Joker. Yeah. This bitch is like, look, this baby Joker bitch. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So, but no, I mean, I'm taking Robinson because once again, at some point, you have him on a cheaper deal. You get those 5 years, okay? By that time, who knows what this offense is going to look like? Mm-hmm. AJ's deal may be up. You maybe then transition to Smitty being the number 1, have another wide receiver come in. This offense is going to look different. They're probably going to draft a tight end in this during this draft as well. Trust and believe, because the tight end class is pretty deep.
It's very good.
It's good and it's deep. So you're going to find something there. So they're just going to keep fucking reloading. And it is a luxury pick, but based on how the defense worked and what you have on offense at number 10, this is what happens. Mm-hmm. This is what happens when you find yourself. See, I mean, low key, Seattle's in the same way. Hell, Don came in this bitch with the shades, took Chauncey from us, fucker.
He could have them,
but on some real, he's the Lions is in a luxury too. They got 6 and they got 18. Look at this bitch change his damn avatar.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, I love it.
You're more welcome to him. The more he talks, the happier I am he's not here.
Yeah.
I mean, because I think he's just a showman. But I remember, listen, I followed Jawan Johnson Glassboro's on TikTok, and I remember 2 seasons ago they would all ask, like he would ask the locker room and the Saints, like, who would you not let date your daughter? Unanimously, it was Chauncey.
Yeah, they all said it.
Unanimously, it was Chauncey. So I don't know what it is about him, but on the field, it is what it is. But I digress. I take him at 10. I don't think twice about it. I don't care what the stigma is. If at most, I may move back 2 spots. Long.
Okay. Pause.
Long and deep, huh?
But no, honestly, I mean, I don't think twice about taking him at 10. The most I move back is 12, maybe 13. I don't know who's behind us like that. Pause once again.
Don, you gotta tell your Lions buddies to relax there. They're chomping at the bit for a team that hasn't won a playoff game since '91.
I like what they're building.
Yeah, so do I.
But so I think you got. Is it Tennessee at 11?
Are they?
I don't know. Someone
I
go
can
to look up
I
this
can
thing.
look real quick.
I think Tennessee's at 11. Houston's at 12, or it's something like that. It's something like that. It's something like that. Because I can see
it's like far more issues.
But I can see them wanting to transition from Derrick Henry. Obviously,
yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point.
And they can take like you. There's when you have a top 3 player overall in the draft. Since Saquon. I mean, Jonathan Taylor was taken in the second round. Obviously, he was the best running back in that draft. But as far as the top 50 overall, he wasn't sniffing the top 10.
Mm-hmm.
Last year, who was the first running back taken?
Who was the first running back taken?
It was not. He wasn't taken into the second round.
But even that,
like
Breece Hall.
Breece Hall.
That's it.
So, but he wasn't in the top 5 of the ranked overall consensus across the board.
Mm-hmm.
From most people who get paid to do this shit, Bijan is in the top 5, if not at worst top 10.
I'd say he's top 3.
Yeah. Oh no.
You know what I mean? This fucking guy.
I will. So let me say to all the people that, especially Mr. Wing, going back to his comment like about Bijan being or not being.
He came in and left.
He'll be back.
Came in and left.
He'll be back.
But it's generally I totally understand why people wouldn't want to take a running back in the first round. I understand. I think there are gray areas, but generally that's fine. Like I understand positional value. I understand that the nature of the position in today's NFL, the supply way over exceeds the demand, and so there's always going to be guys out there that you can get. Not all of them are going to be truly great guys, but you can find someone at least who's serviceable. So I totally understand that. I think what people are missing when they totally scoff and like push aside the idea of taking Bijan Robinson, though, is they're ignoring the fact that his value goes above what just a traditional running back is. Remember CMC? Remember how early he went?
8.
And how great he was for such a long time. Guys like him, and I know Saquon's a bad example, but he went to a horrible team. A horrible team. If he had gone to a better team, Saquon would be like arguably he could be like the best running back in the league right now.
CMC going broke my heart.
When you have a talent like Bijan, who, in my opinion, ever since I started grading running backs in the draft, is the best running back prospect I have ever seen and graded and scouted. The best. You have to look at the fact that he is more than just a running back. He is. Everyone is paying attention to Jahmyr Gibbs as this great receiving threat as a running back. Jake, I told you months ago.
Yeah.
Bijan Robinson is as good or even better as a receiver than Gibbs.
Yeah.
You literally could put Bijan Robinson at different wide receiver spots and he would be good. Watch a lot of when you watch his highlights, like I'm not telling guys don't scout based on highlights, but if you want to see clips, go to his highlights and watch these receptions, these catches that he makes. Dear Lord, dear God,
yeah.
There was one.
It's insane.
There was one reception he had against, I think it was Iowa State, where he ran a post route and he literally looked like a wide receiver.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. The guy, his hands are natural. He flucks the ball out of the air so smoothly. He can run different routes. You have to realize that when a running back has this type of dual threat ability, this versatility, where he's not just a running back, he's also a receiver, and can break value on passing downs outside of the ground game, their value increases. He is a generational talent. Sorry, Mr. Wing, but you're just wrong there. He's in terms of
always wrong.
prospects, he's a generational talent because you haven't seen someone like him in a long time. Who's the most talented? So I'd say he's more talented than Saquon. I'd say like he's in terms of talent, he's like AP territory or Daniel Tomlinson territory. This guy is insanely good. So I would absolutely be all for a team, and not just the Eagles. Any team taking him in the mid to later half of the first round, I would be totally fine with it. I think that would be a good value pick. Now, when it comes to the Eagles, you keep hearing, like you guys alluded to, I forget who it was. I think it was PY talking about like how the Eagles have so many other needs, blah blah blah. Guys, you don't draft based on needs. I don't know how many times we got to tell you.
Yeah.
You don't draft based on needs. Just because you have a need doesn't mean that's the route. That's a position you have to reach for at a certain round. You don't draft based on need. You have to draft based on who's there, what talent is available to you, and you have to consider long term who is going to impact your team both immediately and long term. Especially in round one, who is going to have a day one impact for your team? Because this team is in a win now window. We have a window where we are contenders right now. So you need a pick who's going to affect your team and improve your team from day one, right this second, for the next few years. And so who cares if Bijan Robinson's lifespan is only going to be for another 5-6 years, right? That'll be
lifespan on the field, sir.
On the field, yeah. Sorry. His lifespan on the field is going to be only for the next 5-6 years. Who cares? That's our window. That's our window, isn't it? That's our freaking window.
The next 5-6 years, dead.
Sorry.
Dead.
I forgot to say on the field. So, like, it matches up perfectly because you have someone who's going to be able to take this offense to the next level. And I've seen too many people say like, "Oh, he's just another running back." It doesn't matter. He's not just another running back. He's not. He's different. He's part of the exception. He's one of those people who is an exception to the position. So that's my whole thing. I think it's I just think that it's a little foolish to just write off Bijan Robinson as a first round pick to any team. I think that's a little simple. Hello, Mr. Shadow Realm.
He's not. I don't think he's going to say anything.
I have no idea what the hell is going on here. Hi, Rye.
Are you
expecting someone else? Expecting someone else?
I didn't know if you were going to show your face.
It was necessary. It was necessary. I would say I'm coming here to help because I am, right? I'm just trying to help. Why are we doing this to ourselves? Why? Why are we fighting within the inner workings of the family over something that's probably, I'm not going to say probably, is not going to happen?
It's not going to happen.
Yeah, probably not.
And I'm not talking about you guys. I'm not talking about the chat because it's a fun conversation, right? To picture Bijan Robinson in an Eagles uniform. Who cares about the defense? I don't know what the word defense means if you have that. But there are people out there in Eagles Twitter, Eagles land, and the groups, all the platforms that are literally fighting on threads for days on end.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a non-issue. And again, if he somehow does it, then color me surprised, right? I'll gladly be wrong. If anyone is trying to convince themselves that Howie Roseman, after not one, but 2 Super Bowl appearances in 5 years, is going to change his stripes, do something that he's, I don't think, ever done in his regime, right? I can't remember the last time they did something on the lines of what they would need to do if they took Bijan. Why is he going to change from what he needs to do? He's not going to. And I hear you, Elliot. It's fun, but there are people arguing, going out and convincing themselves that, it's guaranteed it's going to be Bijan.
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say that. I will say, so Ryan, to your point, I should also preface this by saying the chances of Howie drafting Bijan Robinson are very, very, very slim. And at 10, it's like 0%.
Yeah,
If it's like close to 30, like a pick 30, if it's closer to that, it goes up to like 5% maybe.
Sure.
So I totally hear you. The most likely, the chances are very high that this isn't happening. But what keeps me, the thought that I keep remembering in the back of my head is 2017. I've had people on Twitter confirm because I wasn't sure if I remember correctly. Howie Roseman really did want Christian McCaffrey in the first round. We had the 14th pick. Pick. He wanted Christian McCaffrey. Also, the Twitter account, Honest NFL, if you guys remember, he used to work for the Eagles staff. He knows Howie Roseman very well. Very great follow. Very insightful.
The best follow.
He flat out states that like Howie Roseman isn't going to take a running back in the first round. However, the only chance, and this is from his account, the only chance that Howie Roseman would take one, that running back would have to be in the mold of a CMC that adds value as a receiver beyond just the running game. And that's why I preface everything I said about Bijan as, hey, he's that type of player. So I don't know if it's 0% at any point in the first round. It's very low, but those two things keep popping in my head. Like maybe it's not impossible, maybe it's improbable, but maybe it's not impossible that if we trade down to like around 20 or 15 to 20, maybe it's possible we do take him. Maybe I think so.
I just don't want to see this fan base over the next month or so get carried away and pretty much set themselves up for disappointment. Because again, like I'll speak for Tom and I. Like Tom and I have been doing it for years with the cornerbacks, right? Like we've done it with Surtain, we've done it numerous times, and it's amounted. Obviously, the 1 year we got Devontae Smith, so really, we're not that upset.
And they wanted Surtain too. To your point,
yes. But it's like we convince ourselves every year again because. Not that like it's the wrong decision. Like I'm not saying taking Bijan is the wrong decision. It would be a hell of a lot of excitement for an offense that's already pretty damn exciting. I just think that we are setting ourselves up to where if it's anything but Bijan or a friggin' linebacker again, because we always have a cluster of the fan base that's like, oh, this is the year they take a linebacker or a safety, even though they've never taken a safety in the first round ever. And it's like, oh, this is the year. It's like, well, again, 2 Super Bowl appearances doing it the same friggin' way, which is building through the trenches. In 5 years, I don't really see him straying from it. And here's the other thing too. And tell me if you guys agree with this. I don't believe that this is really a draft for this season. I think this is a draft for the incoming season.
I agree.
Because here's the thing, and this goes right along with how they value the trenches. There are 3 paramount pieces and huge factors of this entire organization that are either on the final year of their deal or they're coming up on it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Brandon Graham, Fletcher, and Lane Johnson. What do they all have in common? Oh, wait, they're on the lines.
Yeah.
To look at Lane Johnson again, Chucks, we've talked about this in private, off stream. I might bet all of my life savings that they're taking an offensive tackle that can also be a guard. That way he could be like somewhat decent competition for, Ciamalo's replacement, and then can also be insurance and then can eventually replace Lane because Lane said numerous times that he's got 2 years left, if that.
Yeah. He's only got a couple years left. Yeah.
The only thing to that, Ryan, I would say is the tackle position, the offensive line position is probably the weakest it's been in like the last 3 years. Like once you get Skarnowski, you get Paris Johnson, and then you get Osiris Torrance. After that, it's off a cliff. So Howie's going to have a dilemma at 10 if he's sitting there, and Bijan is there, but Skarnowski or Paris Johnson is there, and there's other teams behind him that are needy for tackles. He can get a ransom for 10.
Sure. He could get a big.
He can get it because everybody knows the talent level drops after that.
Yeah, after those two. Yeah, absolutely.
After those, so if you move back to 12 or something like that, and it's Houston and they really don't have anything else. I don't know. I can't say never because that move of Jack Bijan
Well, they took a quarterback in the second round a couple years ago too, so never say never.
Fair.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's like that move, getting Honey Bijan is, bitch, that's it. You in the Super Bowl next year.
Yep. We back.
I mean, because who's going to throw the ball in San Francisco? The defense is stacked to the gills.
Chucks might be throwing it.
The defense is stacked to the gills, but who's going to throw the ball?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I play quarterback.
It's crazy that I feel more confliction with 10 this year than I did. I probably did 2 years. Was it? When did you draft Smitty? 2 years ago?
Yep.
Yeah, 2021.
Because of the fact of you were in the Super Bowl last year. Like when you're in the Super Bowl the year, you shouldn't be picking this high. And we're not really picking this high. But we're picking this high, and it's like, oh, what do we need? Like it's like going into the grocery store and you have everything in it, like budget is not an option. Or you go to a 5-star restaurant that has Italian, surf and turf, anything you can think of, K-pop, and it's like, all right, you can pick any option you want. Like, squeeze me? What? Like, and you just sitting there because you got so many options and you just can't choose. It's almost like for the 5 of us here, it's almost like we want to be in a situation where we don't have to pick a 10. I mean, is that fair? Like, it's a good probability that we don't want to pick at 10, because if we don't have to pick at 10, that means we're getting more draft capital, and then you probably could take Bijan, or maybe if you listen to Greg Cosell, maybe Nolan Smith could be the next Fred Warner. He's not probably going to be a defensive edge rusher because he's just so light, you know what I mean? But that also there at the same time. So it's, I don't know. I'm that's what I'm leaning towards, is like, I hope we don't pick at 10, because I know if we don't pick at 10, because I don't think there's no reason for him to move up.
No, he's pulling trade machine. He's trading back, he's trading up. He might trade for a player.
Ryan, the trade machine?
Yes, he turns into me for two nights a year. He turns into me, and I'm very proud of him. He goes full trade machine.
Unless he trades back and trades up and gets Jalen Carter.
I'm not doing that.
I'm not opening that can of worms right now.
I'm good.
Can I ask a question on the Zeke thing before I disappear? Real quick?
Yeah.
Because I saw you say it earlier, Chucks, and I don't know if you said it on Twitter, if you said it publicly, but I just want to clarify, because I understand the hatred for Zeke.
Is he an Ewok? Yeah, he's an Ewok.
Yes. And listen, I am one that will say loudly, embrace the hatred. It feels good. Embrace the anger. It makes you stronger. Right? Like, I don't think there's a person in football. Exactly. Yes, exactly. Lord Sidious, episode 3. Phenomenal movie until you realize, oh, wait, it's not that good of a movie. Beside the point. I am one that looks at Zeke Elliott, and I do not know if there's a player in football that I despise more. It would be equivalent, though, to, I'll relate it to basketball, right? 'Tis the season, that, like, if Trae Young joined the Sixers. Like, I wouldn't be okay at all for like 2 straight months.
Yeah.
But here's where I need to ask you this, Chuck.
Sidney Crosby on the Flyers.
Do the Flyers exist anymore? I mean, the Flyers exist. Yeah. I mean, they can't even tank properly.
Oh, my God. All right. Yeah, go ahead.
Because you said earlier that if Zeke came here, you would boo him anytime he got the ball. Is that correct?
I would boo him every time.
Boo.
And I have 2 things to say. It's a question, but it's a statement. One, you're a liar. You're lying to me. You're a liar. And if you're not lying, then you're a violation. Like, you're not going to do that. Like, if Trae Young comes here, I'm not going to be okay.
All right, I'll meet you. The guy. Right. I'll meet you halfway. Okay, I'll meet you halfway. Maybe I won't boo every time. Maybe I'll boo like the beginning of game week 1, and then just stay silent the rest of the year. Is that like, maybe I'll boo when he like walks onto the field, boo, and then be quiet the rest of the year.
Well, that's kind of a BS statement, because you know you can't stay quiet. You can't help yourself. You can't stay quiet.
You would
If he gets the carry, I'll just be like this.
You would boo him on Twitter until he walks into the end zone twice in week 1 of the NFL, and you'd be like, this guy can stay. He's all right.
He's not too
He
bad.
can stay.
He's one of the guys.
I'll go like this. I'll go like this, but I won't say anything. I'll just think while
You can't celebrate that reserved.
No, it's not in your nature. You can't do it. I've seen you celebrate. Pete and Jake, we were all there again when it was the second round of the playoffs against the Giants.
Mm-hmm.
We were up 30, not 20, not 25, 30, 3-0. And Chucks is on the ground banging on Tom's table, being like, I need a first down. I need a first down. And all of us are being like, I don't think we need a first down. I don't think we need a first down.
I think we're okay.
There are 30 seconds left on the clock.
On the clock,
we don't need a third. We do not need a first down. We need nothing. Gardner Minshew's on the field. We need nothing.
I am so glad you guys know me so well. I am very, very glad.
And last thing, Joseph, he says, eat
shit, right?
Yeah, he said that. The Flyers exist. I don't think you want to die on that hill, Joseph.
The Flyers haven't really existed since like the 70s.
The Flyers haven't existed since rest in peace.
Since Comcast owned them, man.
You know what the Flyers are? And listen, well, there are a lot of things. And listen, I'm not saying Joe's a part of this fan base, but the reason they're in this predicament is because their core fan base, they looked at it's like, we can get away with selling tickets because they're good with apathy. The Flyers are like the tiniest of ants in the anthill, right? To where we can't see them, but sure, they technically exist, but they don't really do anything. That's what the Flyers are. So yeah, Joe,
Flyers fans are just weird.
I'm not going.
I can't go that far.
Yeah, the Flyers though, they're an ant. They exist, but I don't really know what they're doing.
It's sad what they've become. And this is coming. They're my second team. And
Sorry
I don't
to hear that.
I'm sorry.
I don't pay
Second team of what?
Like the Philly Sports.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, they're like.
I was going to say second hockey team, and I was
sorry. They're like, after the Eagles, like the biggest team I'm a fan of is probably the Flyers, but I don't.
Be wearing a dunce cap.
Because like what they've become the past few years is like, but that's a tangent. That's a topic for another day.
Gentlemen, always a pleasure. I enjoyed experiencing the hatred with
gentlemen. Love you, Ryan.
Later, Ryan.
Bathe in it. Bathe in the hatred.
Bathe in it. All right.
I don't hate it, but
any other parting thoughts before we transition over this second half? Last thoughts on Honey Bijan and or the washed up Ewok.
No. Based on our entire conversation, I still want Bijan Robinson. I still want Bijan.
Trade back and get Bijan.
Get Bijan, yeah.
But it's not going to happen. You guys, all of you are bad influences on me because I'm setting myself up, even though I know that it's not going to happen.
Oh, I'm going to be sad come draft night. I'm going to be sad if we don't draft.
Don, Zach Charbonnet is better than who?
Yeah, please clear that up. He's better than a lot of running backs in this class, but you better not say he's better than Bijan Robinson.
He'll do it.
You better not. That better not come out of your mouth. Better not come out of your mouth. All right, second half of the show. Can you tell us who it's by, Mr. OGP?
Brought to you by Alonzi Travel, specializing in creating the vacation of your dreams at Disney, Universal, or wherever your heart calls to you. Let their talented team of travel experts create a custom vacation catered just for you. Royal Traveler t-shirt.
That's me. I am now live. I am an Alonzi travel agent specializing in Disney vacations, along with Andy Ritter, Mr. Ritz. So, hey guys, if you want to travel to Disney, let us know.
Chuck's dime.
Let us know. All right, guys.
Oh.
Now let's not talk about Zeke anymore.
I'm looking at Don's comments right now, but I don't want to get you all riled up. Don't do it. Don't.
No, I see it. Like, come on, Don.
He's trying to trigger Chuck. He's trying to.
Yes, he is. Hard.
Yeah, I know. Dave Brand says, is Bijan even better than Gainwell?
They're all trying to trigger Chucks. I love
Oh
it.
my god, I see it. Okay, so let's do this. I guess we're all. I know, Jake. You said that you went 6 deep with your rankings.
Correct.
6 deep.
Before you do that, do you want to answer Coach Marcus's question real quick?
Well, let me bring it up, and then you guys.
I got it. Oop.
You got it.
Yep.
Go ahead.
Did you take Gonzalez at 10? I would say yes, but my only thing is with taking him at 10, when's he going to play?
Yeah, right.
You know, I mean, I get that we have 2 older corners, but at the same time, when is he going to
Unless
play?
you're moving Maddox to safety.
But even then, I just
No, you wouldn't.
Yeah, he's more of he's an
That's my
outside
whole
guy.
point.
So I just don't understand it.
That's somebody said something that was actually was tremendously valid, and it was I actually heard it from a caller on the antique dial. They said, like, when's the last time the Eagles have drafted a first round defensive player who that actually contributed right away? Like, a lot of times they redshirt their defensive players. I mean, Fletcher Cox maybe. So with Christian Gonzalez at 10, yeah, I would like it, but like Jake said, it's just at 10 you need someone that's going to make a day one impact.
Yeah, you need exactly. You need a starter.
You need a starter at 10.
Especially.
All right,
honestly, Bijan is ranked higher than Gonzalez anyway. So
Bijan's top
top
3 player in this draft class. Quarterbacks, guys, this is going to be fun. So let's pull this up.
Ooh.
All right, let's pull this stuff up. If I can get this correct, yes. Okay.
Why is my name first? We're going from reverse order.
This is the sheet from last year, so I don't know.
Lack of effort.
Lack of effort, more lack of time. I'm so busy. So if you want to make the sheet next week, be my guest. All right, so let's do. Do you guys want to go ascending or descending order for this?
Ascending.
Yeah, let's do ascending. Yeah, that's better.
Ascension.
Ascending order. Okay, so that means that we will start. All right. So did anyone else do 6 quarterbacks?
No.
I did 5.
You did 5. I did 5. You did 5, Pete. Okay, Jake. Then who is your 6th then?
All right. My 6th quarterback is Will Levis.
At 6?
Will Levis. Will Levis at number 6.
Okay. So let's do it this way. Every time we get a name, let's talk about it. So let's all discuss. Will Levis at 6.
He just and I get it, right? Like, I get the tools are there, and it I understand that part, but he's also one of those prospects too that reminds me he's like one of those same prospects every year that comes out of nowhere. Everyone's like, okay, but I mean, he has all the tools. I understand that part, but he just reminds me his accuracy. He reminds me too much of Josh Allen, relying on his arm too much with just errant throws, and just he has when I see him play, he reminds me so much of Carson Wentz to where he tries to play hero ball too much. Okay. And I don't see how he'll be successful. And again, I could be totally wrong. Maybe he's successful if he goes to the right team, but I really don't see it compared to the other other quarterbacks. Excuse me.
Marcus says, "Look at Chuck's with Excel spreadsheet." That's not Excel's word, and yeah, I started this last year. Dailies, I'm hearing a lot of excuses. All right, so all right, so he's at your 6.
It's number 6.
So since you did that, let's go with 5, and then we'll go across the board with our 5s. So who do you have at 5?
Stetson Bennett.
What? Are you on crack?
Now, mind you, he doesn't blow you. Listen, he doesn't blow you away with his physical tools or anything like that. He has a good enough arm. He's mobile. But my big thing is, and I think what's the word I'm looking for? I add this more into it than I probably should. But he's a winner. Plain and simple, he's a winner, and that's all that he did at Georgia. That's all they did, and I factor that into it a lot.
He's like 40.
He's only 25.
Are you sure?
Yes.
He's 25 in the same way Andrea Zuckerman was 16.
He's
Okay,
only
just stop.
25. He's only 25.
Oh my god.
Beverly Hills 90210 quarterbacks.
PY, who do you have at 5?
I'm gonna throw it out there. Max Duggan.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You really have Max Duggan at 5. Okay.
He has Stetson Bennett. Oh, ahead of Will Levis. Okay, I'm not here.
Stetson
I
Bennett is
didn't
better
say that
than
he-
Max Duggan.
It's
Stop it.
worse.
I'm sorry. Max Duggan went from being one of the worst statistical quarterbacks
Max
ever
Duggan.
in college football to leading his team to the national championship.
Yeah, and how'd it work out for him in the national championship, Pete?
Guess what? He's not 45. He there's some skill there.
Yeah, well, the 45-year-old's still better than
Mr.
Max Duggan.
Evans, Pete Evans, who do you have at 5?
I have the good old Anthony Richardson.
Wow. This is great. Oh my god. Okay. All right. We're starting off hot. I'll just put my 5. Hold on. I have to make this. I'm so.
Yeah,
What is up with Don Don and UCLA? Are you from LA, Don Don, by way of Detroit, sir?
Anthony Richardson. Wow.
I have. Anthony was low. Okay.
Wow.
I have Will Levis at 5. Okay. So Pete, explain
Me.
Anthony Richardson at 5.
He's just for me. The ceiling is there. It's just the raw talent. The situation is going to be key for him where he goes, when he has to play, if he has time to sit and grow. So that's why I have him at 5.
Okay.
Okay. All right. I have Will Levis at 5, and that's really low for compared to some of the other people. Well, not compared to Jake apparently, but other people in the draft community. I understand that people like the ceiling or see a ceiling, but I don't see as high of a ceiling as other people do.
Mhm.
And I think the risk factor is a lot higher with Levis.
Yes.
Despite the ceiling. Like, it's a lot of people say that Anthony Richardson has the lowest floor. I think Will Levis has the lowest floor.
Mhm.
Not by much, but I think he has an even lower floor than Anthony Richardson, because I think Richardson at least has his athletic ability to at least lean on, whereas Will Levis, he's not as great of an athlete. Now I know Levis is big and he's strong, but again, I think that it's not to a level in terms of athletic ability, physical ability as Richardson. So I have him at 5. Let's go opposite order. Pete, who's your 4?
Will Levis.
Well, Levis at 4. So you have Levis above Richardson.
Interesting.
Why? What is it that you like about? Because I don't see it. But
The ability to throw the ball better than Richardson right now. Right now, we're talking about coming into this draft.
Okay.
Right now, who would I have more confidence in? Now, don't get me wrong, the mayo and the coffee. But
That's my white.
I actually took myself off coffee in 2 weeks, so I've been coffee free for 2 weeks, caffeine
God
free.
bless you.
It was rough. It was.
Yeah, I bet.
The withdrawal is real, brother.
Ugh.
The withdrawal
Yeah,
is real.
I'm good.
My boss would have killed everyone in the office.
Dude, I had the shakes, the sweats, flu.
Yeah.
I felt like I had COVID all over again. But
I'm
oh my
good.
God.
I'm good.
I'm so glad I'm not a caffeine guy because, I just
Do you do iced tea or anything, or
huh?
do you
Me?
do like ice? No, I was talking to Chucks. Do you do like iced tea or anything, or
I do, but I'm not dependent on it.
okay,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. If there's a drink that aside, I drink water, but
So do I,
aside from
okay.
that, if there's another drink, it's a very broad category. There's another drink that I'm hooked on. It's bubble tea in general.
I've never tried. I have to try that.
Does bubble tea have caffeine in it?
Is it like Ovaltine?
It's tea,
Again, it's a
so
very
yeah, tea has
broad-
caffeine.
So hold on, time out,
There's
right?
a lot
So
of
bubble
different
tea,
types of bubble tea. So it's
the
a very
bubble tea is the
broad-
one that has the bubbles in it, right?
Yeah.
What do you
can
do?
get-
What do you do when the bubbles? What do you do when the bubbles are in your mouth, Chucks?
You chew them, baby. Tapioca ball. You
Das
chew
Boot.
those. Yes, Martian boba. Yes. No,
I
but
can't-
I'm
I
using it
can't-
as a broad scope because there are other toppings you can put in your drink. You can put like jelly jelly
sounds
bits or
disgusting.
other things that are aloe bits.
Yeah,
So-
I'm too much of a texture guy for any
Yeah,
of that shit.
Oh, I love you guys are missing out.
I gotta try it. I've never tried
You're
it.
missing out. Anyway,
I thought you said Ovaltine.
I said Ovaltine.
Drink your Ovaltine.
Ovaltine.
We can't see you, Pete, because Chuck has the thing up on the bottom.
That's because he's mean.
Someone has to be on the bottom.
Pause.
Why are the honkies have to be on? Wow.
All right, PY.
Racist.
Speaking of on the bottom, PY, who's at your 4?
Will Levis.
Will Levis. Okay. Anything you wanted to add that Pete, Pete didn't say already regarding
He's a spicier Daniel Jones.
He's a what?
He's a spicier Daniel Jones.
Oh, spicier Daniel Jones. I don't see the comp, but okay. Sure.
It's all white somewhere.
Jake.
Number 4, give me Hayden Hooker.
Hendon Hooker?
Hendon Hooker, sorry.
How do you spell Hayden? I want to know. I want to hear him spell it.
Hedon.
I'm gonna fill mine in too because I also have Hendon Hooker.
Hendon Hooker.
Get to some of the chat before we proceed. So
Oh man, I'm gonna mess with some people.
Man,
Don says
Terry
Donald got the
Tennessee.
QB from UCLA. He actually, I didn't. He was going to. I was going to study him. So I've only
him
looked
too.
at 5 quarterbacks. So
I do like
see
that.
the
anyone
Eagles
outside
draft
these
too.
5, this is
I like
for
that
me
kid from
personally,
Tulane.
I don't know anyone else yet. These are out of the 5 I've studied. This is how I rank the 5. But I gotta look at Robinson. Let's see. Tom says spreadsheet talk and British instincts.
He is not. He's very good.
Let's
Not
see.
yet.
Ryan did say, I love that Jake has Levis last.
Dude stinks.
Yeah,
So
Market says tapioca balls, Pete. Bubbles.
Oh, God.
Y'all missing
Ew.
out, yo. Y'all are
Ew.
just, I'm telling
Dude,
you.
I can just literally, I
Tapioca,
would
what the
cringe if I'm sipping through a straw, and that boba comes through there and hits the back of my throat.
You have no idea, bro. You have no idea.
As a man, if that happens to you and you don't gag, I'm looking at you different. I'm looking at you different. That's all I got to say.
All right, let's go to our top 3s now.
Oh,
So
Jesus.
Jake, 3.
Give me Anthony Richardson at 3.
At 3. Okay. Richardson. PY
CJ Stroud.
At 3? Wow.
Where does he play? That's
What
that-
did you
Oh, there, yeah, good point. Yeah, that fits Pete's agenda.
That's a legit
Yeah,
critique.
Yeah.
Any of us surprised?
If he played
Any of
anywhere
us
else, he'd be
surprised?
number 1. I see.
If I was a true hater, I would have put him at 6.
Pete.
Fair.
Pete.
Yeah, I got to. I'm gonna go Hendon Hooker.
Okay.
3.
At 3. I see who you've been listening to. So
Oh no, not that. No, not because of that. I like Hendon Hooker because obviously the ACL, but who he played against and how he played in those games.
Guy carried Tennessee.
Carried them.
Literally carried Tennessee.
I also have Anthony Richardson like Jake at 3. So PY, CJ Stroud at 3.
Explain
Why?
yourself, sir. Explain
Why?
yourself.
I think he's good. I'll stick with my Ohio State thing. They just pump out quarterbacks, man. Everyone's good at Ohio State. Like, no matter who's there, they're always good quarterbacks. Like, I have a little bit of question mark if it's going to translate to the NFL. Like, every year when I have every Ohio State quarterback, I feel the same way about Alabama quarterbacks because they just pump dudes out like no one's business. Like, everyone who looks like me is at Alabama throwing for like 4,000 yards and like 40 touchdowns. Like,
What does
it's
Alabama do, Pete?
They just push dudes out.
Oh boy.
Are you okay?
Showing off the
They just push dudes out. Oh my god.
Yeah, just like our moms.
Oh Jesus Christ. Oh Jesus. Oh God. You know it's got. You know we've gone over the fence when Don's like, all right, stop.
Yeah.
You know it's bad when Don's telling us to stop.
Anyways, I want to say with Anthony Richardson, like I really want to put him higher, but the lows were just really bad.
Star
Yeah.
power,
But
man. That's what
in
he's got.
terms of- if there's one quarterback on here that I really like want to believe in a lot, well, I'll rephrase that. Him and the QB I have at 1 are the 2 quarterbacks I really want to believe in a lot. Like I'm really rooting for a ton because I think Anthony Richardson. Would anyone disagree with the statement that Richardson probably has the highest ceiling and upside of anyone in this?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh yeah.
So I kind of want to see it happen. Like his
Mhm.
physical talent and ability is so remarkable. Like it's so elite. He's just he's still what 21 years old.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of his weaknesses are things that can be fixed because he's so young still. Like he hasn't really played a ton and he hasn't been playing for that long. He's learning. So like he just started drinking alcohol. Like what, you know what I mean? So I think that I think where he goes is going to be absolutely pivotal. Yep. It's going to be so important where he ends up because if he goes to a team that's not going to be able to develop him the right way, he's going to suck. He's going to bottom out. But if he bottom out. If he goes to a
that's what got you. Not he's going to suck. Pause. Bottom out is what you double back to.
Because those were all layups, but bottom out I didn't catch. I was like bottom out. Okay. That's another one. But yeah, he has to go to the right place, and if he does, he has to find.
I got one for you. He has to find his right spot.
Oh God.
There you go.
This train isn't coming off the tracks anytime soon.
He's got to go to.
We're talking about trains now.
He's got to go to a place where he can really grow.
So instead of show, you need to grow, is what you're saying?
You need to grow.
You should leave changing your fucking avatar to Chauncey. I didn't even say, like, I said it, but then Marshall Lynch said, he's like, yo, Don, that avatar is really aggravating, fam.
Pete, you're number 2 then.
My number 2 is Columbus Joe Stroud. I don't even know that's what CJ stands
Columbus
for.
Joe.
Columbus Joe.
I actually like it. Columbus Joe Stroud.
Colossal jerk.
PY, you're number 2.
Anthony Richardson.
Why did you say that like a slave owner?
What?
Wow. Well.
Oh. Ooh, shit.
Wow.
Now I know how Colin Jost must feel on SNL.
Jake, who's your number 2?
Number 2, give me Bryce Young.
Wow.
Number 2.
Embarrassing.
Oh my God.
Don't get me wrong. I think he has the tools to be the best quarterback in this draft, but like his size just worries me so much.
All
it
right,
really
so
does.
By process of elimination, Pete, yours is going to be Bryce Young. Mine is also going to be Bryce Young. EY, yours is going to be Bryce Young. And then Jake, yours
On an island. Let's go.
on an island.
I was totally picking Dorian Thompson-Robinson.
I just think I think Stroud's just the safest bet, I think.
Okay.
As far as number 1. I think he's the most ready. He's the safe bet. Again, Bryce Young can be the best quarterback in this draft, but again, his size just worries me. It really does. I'm just not sure how durable he's going to be. Pause. But anyway.
When Stetson Bennett wins like 3 Super Bowls, you guys are going to really feel bad about yourself.
Here's why I have Bryce Young ahead of Stroud, because I think Stroud is what you say. He's the safest bet out of all.
Exactly.
Anyone. Like he's going to be a good quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
If you know me, I tend to favor upside as opposed to safe.
Yeah.
Like I'm not totally against safe. I think there are certain scenarios where you have to go safe. And I think with the Panthers, they have to land this pick. So like I don't blame them for going with the safest pick and going with CJ Stroud, because it makes sense. They made this move, and they have to hit. So I get it. And I think CJ Stroud is going to be very good. His pocket, probably the most accurate passer in this class. Just goes through progressions so well. And I think his mobility, I think what he did against Georgia is what really put him into the real conversation of number one, because it showed teams that, hey, I can do this on the biggest stage against the biggest competition. I can do what you guys think I can't. And that's he was consistently making off schedule, out of structure plays, right? And that's something we never saw, and we saw on when in the biggest game of the year for him. So that was a really great glimmer of hope, I think. But when it came down to it, and I went back and forth, like it's tough for me to decide, but I went Bryce Young because I think Bryce Young just has that special. You remember how we always talk about quarterbacks who have it and have that it factor and are just have this demeanor about them. I think Bryce Young exudes that, and I think Bryce Young, he just gets onto the field, and when he's playing, Bryce Young just commands the offense and he makes plays, whether it be from the pocket, outside the pocket, with accuracy, with enough arm strength. I think he just knows how to make plays and knows how to lead an offense. And yes, the size is concerning, but I think that guys like Devontae Smith have given me hope to not be as scared with outliers as in the past. I think it's a different game. It's a game that's played a lot in space now compared to before. So I think an outlier in terms of size is more, there's a better chance of those outliers being able to succeed in today's type of game than it was in years ago, if that makes sense. So I'm willing to work on Bryce. If Bryce was coming out like 20 years ago, then I think it'd be a much different story. But Bryce now, 2023, I think it's very possible. And I it's risky, but I think that I like his tape and ability enough to be able to overlook the downside.
For me, I look at what CJ had to work with. He arguably had the best offensive line in all of college football, and how much time he had. Now, obviously, when he went up against Georgia, he had to do something. But if you put Bryce Young behind that offensive line, then I think Bryce, his size, you have to protect him. But just overall, I like Bryce more as a quarterback, more so than CJ. Just from what I saw, I think I've seen CJ's somewhat ceiling, and I think Bryce, I don't think we haven't seen that yet. But then obviously, based on my list, my ranking, I'm not a believer that Anthony Richardson will ever hit his ceiling, because I feel as if I look at the teams that's at the top of the end of the draft that are going to draft him, there's a reason why you're there.
Yeah,
you can't develop a quarterback. You're struggling to develop. Now, if he goes to Seattle for Richardson, a little bit different, because he has time. He has a sentence, Pete Carroll, nurture and love, CBD, peace, love, and happiness, and all that other good shit, right? But if he goes to somewhere where his feet is thrown into the fire right away, i.e. Indy, you know what I mean? Then that's that. I just don't know that it can go. It's going to be so volatile. You know what I mean? It's going to be so volatile. So, I mean, man, yeah. Honestly, I'm looking at this list right now. There is a there is a chance that Hendon Hooker may be the best quarterback in this draft in the next 3 years.
Yeah, sure.
You really think so? Because of
Yes.
what? Because of where he's going to go?
Where he's going to go later in the first round to a more ideal situation, and now he has to bounce back from the ACL, but ACLs now. I mean, we all saw what happened with Reese today. Philly's got now looking for a first baseman, but it's not like 15, 20 years ago. You could bounce back from an ACL more so. Now, it's Achilles or something like that. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
ACLs you can kind of definitely bounce back from. So, but yeah, I mean, I can see that. So, well, Bill says he's McKee. I haven't done any study on McKee. That's why I haven't included him in here. So, yeah.
I only went 5 deep that I wanted to study. So
again,
it's early, so like you can put an asterisk with these rankings because we haven't studied anyone, but you know we did a lot of the popular 5 that people talk about. Bill Richardson, he says Richardson would be great in Seattle. He can learn way behind Smith. I think it makes a ton of sense. I've been saying that. I think my dream scenario is Richardson to Seattle. I would love that. Now, hearing some people talk, I don't think Seattle is going to take him at 5 because I think that they want a difference maker at another position to help them take the next step.
We'll take Bijan.
But, you know.
Whose voice is that from behind the banner? Is that Bruce? Y'all didn't even get it.
Yeah,
I said behind the banner, and I said, is that Bruce? Don is crazy, yeah. This fucking dude.
What do you say now?
I see it.
Oh dear.
Anything else quarterback wise? You guys what
I
team?
I do think the Eagles will draft Dorian Thompson, though. I do think that.
What round do you think?
Definitely day 3.
Yeah, 7th.
Yeah, I know.
Like, draft Max Duggan.
So it has to be the 6th or the 7th.
Yeah, 6th or 7th.
I can see it.
I do like him a lot, though.
I do.
Yeah. Based on what I've seen and I've heard people talk about, I think it's I like him. If he's a day 3 pick, I really like him. It's good. So okay, I think if you guys want to do this exercise or not, let me know. What teams at the top or throughout the top half do you think could be in play for a quarterback? I know we obviously
top half, so top 16 picks,
about 15. Like because I forget who did. I think the guys at the Athletic podcast they did a rundown of teams in the draft where we know that Young and Stroud are most likely going to go 1 and 2. But for these other quarterbacks, where could they really end up? And like the chances of all 4 of the top, like talking about Young, Stroud, Richardson, and Levis, the chances that all 4 go top 10 are actually very slim. If you look at history, based on history, it's slim. So where else could they go? Because Levis could drop to the end of the first round.
Indy for certain.
Yeah, Indy definitely.
Indy for certain. Sorry.
But here's the thing: like Indy could take one, but I could see
who do they have now?
Ballard. I could see Ballard
not
liking anyone outside of Young and Stroud and waiting for next year.
Who they have Ellinger still?
I think so. Sam Ellinger, yeah.
Didn't they sign someone?
Maybe. I think Foles is still there too.
No, they released him.
Oh, did they release him? Okay.
Yes.
But I strong inkling for Indy. Atlanta, maybe.
That's maybe.
Vegas, maybe.
Tennessee could be a possibility too.
New England, maybe.
Yeah, New England. Packers are out because they're going to ride with Love for at least the year.
Maybe Hall of Fame, Jordan Love.
Maybe.
Who's that? Who's picking 13?
That would be the Jets.
So no.
No.
Jets, Jets.
So I mean, the Lions at 18. Could they pick someone at 18?
I can see if somehow, some way Richardson falls, that'd be a good spot for him. Even Levis sit behind Jared Goff.
Yeah.
Um,
And then the Seahawks aren't far better at 20. So now if you get into territory where there are teams that just pass on Richardson and Levis.
if 4 don't go in the top 10, that's bad for us.
I know that's very bad for us.
Very bad for us.
But I'm honestly like, based on history, they make a good point. And like, I think it's very possible 4 don't go in the top 10. Yeah, and Bill asked like, how many go in the first round? I think it could end up being 4.
Yeah, 4.
I think it's 4.
Yeah.
Unless someone gets cute and tries to draft one late.
Oh, right. Yeah, they did get Minshew. I forgot about that.
They got Minshew. Yeah, he said
Yeah,
that.
I forgot about
Now,
that.
if Lamar leaves,
Ooh,
Baltimore at 22.
that's a spot. Yeah.
Ooh.
But wouldn't they get if he leaves or somebody offers the 2 first? Isn't one of those for this year, or is that 2 future firsts?
I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
You make a valid point though with Ballard. Ballard may punt the year to go after Williams next year.
I mean, they did it, and they already did it before. So
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly. So I don't think when you think about that, I think I'd say it's more likely that he doesn't pick a quarterback. But
okay. If that's the case, if he's selling, bitch, I'm buying Darius Leonard. I know that's not his name now. I forget what he changed his name to, but shit, I'm making a phone call, bitch.
Yeah. Vikings at 23.
Yes, that's where I think. That's where I think Hooker goes.
That's a great spot.
Hooker at 23. Okay.
Yeah, Kirk's on the last year of his deal too, so
yes,
that definitely makes sense.
God, that deal felt like
this started with the original question as the top half.
Yeah, I leaked into that, but yeah.
You did what, sir? Say again. You did what?
Because we just kind of
no. I need you to use the same exact phrase.
We leaked into the second half. New Orleans at 29.
Yeah. Maybe not 29 because they have Derek Carr now. Maybe not.
Derek Carr and
they have Derek Carr.
Yeah, maybe not.
Derek Carr now.
Maybe not.
All right. So yeah, I think. Do we all agree that like it's 4?
Yeah, at least 4.
4. Yeah, I think it's very possible that Richardson and or Levis fall. I think it's very possible. Very, very possible, and that's not good for us. But hey, maybe that gives us more reason to trade back, like Pete, like you said, toward the beginning of the show. If someone wants one of those tackles, maybe we trade back. I think I'm leading that route. I think I kind of want that because then we get more capital, more assets to draft.
I think it's a chance that
we draft Bijan Robinson.
Position group, you may see more corners go than we think.
Yeah, maybe.
True. Yeah, that could especially make a run later on in the draft. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no. In the first, I think you can get 4 corners, maybe 5 going in the first round.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cam Smith, Witherspoon.
I like Cam Smith a lot.
Gonzalez, Banks,
Joey
Porter. That's 5, right? That's 5 right there.
5 right there. Yep. Exactly. All right. Yeah. Anything else, guys, for quarterbacks?
I think that's it.
Let's wrap up then. Let's go to No Huddle. What you guys got? Anything?
The Mandalorian this season so far has been amazing.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait till the season's
this
over.
episode was it was like that. It was like that.
I heard it. I heard Misa likes it very much.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
I saw that. I heard about that.
Misa. What the frick? Yeah, I like Bo-Katan's increased role.
So, speaking along those lines, Yoda has to be his dad, right? Yoda and Yaddle? Are those his parents?
I do not know who Rogu's parents are.
We don't know.
I'm just saying.
Yoda, I highly doubt Yoda.
Could you imagine Yoda getting the cheeks, boy?
Yoda tapping.
Good these cheeks are.
God. Yeah, no.
Make them clap, I must.
Clap them. I have.
Touch them, I will.
So Scream, there's 6 Scream. Yeah, I did. The new Scream just came out.
I'm
I
getting
heard it
my
was
buddy
pretty
into
good.
Outer Banks.
What?
I said, Pete, I'm getting my friend into Outer Banks.
Oh, that's what's up.
Outer Banks. Are you?
Outer Banks is
Any of
amazing.
you guys plan on seeing Shazam?
I saw it. It was
on my Cody stick.
I've heard like mixed things about it.
Here's the thing. It's fun. That's it. It's fun.
You saw it.
The whole reason this movie is flopping is because The Rock is a giant jackass.
Oh, because I heard about that.
Well, I didn't hear about this.
So basically, he stopped a whole bunch of stuff from happening. Like they were gonna have us a end credit scene in The Rock's like, you can't use my people, and he basically wanted no parts of Shazam. Which for the last 2 years, all you should have been doing is using each other to prop up your movies.
Right.
But The Rock was too busy. He's like, oh, I'm my own thing. I want me and Superman. Because you know what's a big staple of DC television or DC movies? Black Adam.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'm not saying none of that shit to his face, though. I'll tell you that.
No.
I'd be like, you failed at DC just like you're gonna fail at XFL.
That's more so his I've never seen
CFL.
His ex-wife. So cool. Like, you know what I mean? Like their whole relationship is just super chill. You know what I mean? But it is what it is. Damn, what else was I about to say? That's really all I got, man.
I gotta see the new John Wick. I definitely have to see that.
Oh my god!
I can't wait.
I haven't seen the last. I haven't seen this one, and I haven't seen 3 yet.
3's really good too.
That's all 3.
They're all good. They're all so.
My one buddy's friend was randomly in the last one. He was the bad guy at the end.
Okay.
For what, John Wick?
Yeah.
Really?
This guy I used to work with, he's a former stunt double, and he's in Star Trek, and he did like a lot of stuff. So he's like, "Oh yeah, my friend's in that movie." I'm like, "What movie?" He's like, "Oh, John Wick." I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah. Side note: R.I.P. Lance Reddick.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
So I texted my buddy that because he's a big Wire fan. Because every time we'll watch something, he'll point out, it's like, "Man, that guy was on the Wire." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah, I love Lance Reddick.
That's crazy.
R.I.P. Broyles.
And he was only 60. He wasn't old. He wasn't old.
Did you see the people being scumbags on Twitter about him? Where they show the picture of his wife, and it's like she's like an older white woman, whatever, you know. She's more than right now. They're like, "Oh my god!" I'm like, "What the hell's wrong with you people?" It's like he just died. Like, what's wrong with you?
They said it was natural causes too, which is interesting.
He's
Him
old.
only being 60.
60 is not that old, man.
Yeah, 60 is not old at all. Especially today. 60 ain't old at all.
Maybe he have like a heart attack or something.
Maybe.
Crazy.
Maybe
All right,
he got
gentlemen.
transported into the multiverse.
Good show. Fam, next week we will be talking about wide receivers.
Yes.
Okay.
Pause. Maybe some tight ends too.
Does Jamar Gibbs count?
Who's Jamar Gibbs?
He's a running back, sir. Are you saying does he count as a wide receiver?
Jamar Gibbs? I don't know what Jamar Gibbs.
It's Jameer.
Whatever, man.
Don't know Jamar Gibbs. We will talk about wide receivers and maybe a couple tight ends too. So that's always people always love talking about wide receivers because that's a very popular position for fantasy. So if you want to hop in, we talk about that. I've been waiting for that show because I'm really eager to see how you guys' rankings are going to.
Wide receivers are going to be all over the place.
God, there's going to be so much. I think there's going to be a lot of disagreements. My top 2 are set. After that, I am like a mess. I'm like I don't know how I'm going to rank these guys, but that's going to be fun for next week. So make sure you guys do your homework. To the fam, again, thank you so much for tuning in to Birds of a Feather. Again, we are your best one-stop shop at this station for draft coverage. So make sure you tune in. I can't talk right now. Tune in next week for more draft coverage. For our main show sponsor, Baggio's Bread, make sure you mention HUD Radio for 10% off. Myself,
Don was that.
I'm not coming back.
Not going
Don't
back.
come back then, Don. For myself, Mr. OGP, PY, and Jake Friel, the Mr. Newly Engaged Jake Friel.
Yes, sir.
We love you guys. We appreciate you. Make sure you check out the rest of the shows on the station. Same time next week, we'll be back. Until then, peace out.
Peace.